Look, all right, and we are live. Good morning, afternoon, or evening. Of course, this is Page One Engine Beginners Bootcamp webinar number 2, I believe. We're live, of course. It is 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific time. And real quick, can you guys, do me the usual. Give me a quick shout out. Let me know you're paying attention. You can say hi. You can tell me where you're from. You can tell me how your day is going. I just want to make sure you guys are able to hear me and paying attention. All right, wonderful. I'm seeing a whole bunch of highs, and I see a few Australians and India and Philippines. Hi, Jim. How you doing, man? Carmel Valley, nice. My wife loves. I guess I should say I love it too. But Carmel by the Sea, beautiful. I got Singapore, I got Arizona, Fort Lauderdale, Edmonton, Washington. Hey, David, Costa Rica. Jenny, how are you? I met Jenny in Vegas last month, was it? In Costa Rica, beautiful, beautiful country. Florida, we got Jamaica, Ontario. All right, pretty much from all over the place. I love it. We got Howard from New York. Oh, we got Nora from Carmel, Indiana. That's actually funny. Carmel by the Corn. That actually made me laugh. That was a genuine chuckle. That was like a COL, chuckle out loud. We got Peoria, Arizona, Cherry Hills, Colorado, and of course I am Jeff. We got Minnesota. Now, Susan, you're saying it wrong. It's not Minnesota. It's Minnesota. Got Tulsa. We got Sacramento up near Dory. All right, more Sacramento. Pretty much all over the place. So, anyways, of course, my name is Jeff. That is me 2 years ago-ish. Of course, I am in beautiful South Orange County, California, in the city of Irvine. Sometimes it's boring but beautiful. Anyways, folks, what we're going to be doing, just to kind of set a few ground rules here. This is not a general Q&A session. So if you have questions about any of the particular modules, about launch jacking or red management, or even about the tools of the private blog network, I don't want to say save it, because if you have a question, we want to take care of you. But for that, I would say head over to our Facebook group or our forum. You'll see we are active in both quite frequently. I'm not logged into my main Facebook account now, so you can't see it, but we are on those all day long. Hey, Yaya. Am I saying that right? Yaya? From London. All right. I'm probably going to butcher your name. I apologize, but it looks like it's shorter than your full first name, so it's easier to say. Say me like a Yaya. So anyways, just to be clear, this is not a Q&A. We're going to be going over kind of the basic stuff. And actually, Anne, of course, did the webinar last week while I was Tuesday. Where was I? Tuesday. I was in Sedona, Arizona, and in Las Vegas Tuesday night, living it up. Good times. Basically, what Anne told me was that you folks basically went through domain names, everything you want to know, and then Anne suggested if you have the money, of course, make sure you buy a domain name. And of course, if you can try to buy a .com, your exact name, for example, jefflinney.com, you want to go ahead and do that. And we do record every single one of these. You can, of course, watch the replays once they're available in the same place you signed up for them, underneath Bootcamp Challenge. And tonight's, of course, will be here tomorrow once we're done. The intermediate bootcamp, I believe, starts for the first time this Thursday. And, of course, you'll have the replays for that one there once that is available as well. So anyways, having said that, let me go ahead and see if I missed any initial questions that are applicable. Okay, to-do list, answered that. Advanced, I almost said international intermediate bootcamp, answered that. All right, beautiful. So basically, folks, that was kind of your homework there. Obviously, to go through and try to purchase a domain name. Now, if your name is something like John Smith, or Anit Patel, very, very common names, depending on what country you're from, you're probably going to be out of luck. Of course, my name, fortunately, I'm only one of a few Linneys in the West Coast or in the U.S. The rest are in Scotland. So, of course, mine was pretty easy to get, jefflinney.com. So I did see someone earlier use a nickname. You can always use a middle name. So, for example, if Jeff Linney was not available, I could have gone with Jeffrey Linney or Jeffrey D. Linney, for example. Someone named Barbara could use Barb as an example. I would recommend trying to get a .com or a .net. .orgs are okay. I don't recommend them because it's more for an organization, of course. But really try to get a .com if you can, and that of course is the first thing you want to get. I mean, I've got mine right here, which I've had for 4 or 5 years now, and I use it to do general blog posts. I use it for I got a blog post this morning from here. I do some product reviews on here. I'm also able to, of course, make myself more of a real person by having my picture and everything, so people can see who they're reading about or reading from. Let's see here. If you already have 3 emails with Google, should I create another email under my name? I would do one under your name, Jenny. I mean, for myself, because I've got an email list, I don't want to email people from my Gmail account. So I've got jeff@jefflenny.com. So, Jenny, if you're able to by some chance buy Jenny in your last name.com, you could have Jenny at your website.com, for example. So yeah, why say official blog? Yeah, so people know it's me. Makes me feel more important too. Pretty much lack of something to say. So again, this is just to read. The reason this is important is just to get you guys the basic, for those that don't know what they're doing yet, which is some people, and there's nothing wrong with that, to get you guys a good understanding as to how you're gonna do this online marketing thing. JeffLenny.com was, I believe, the second domain I ever bought. And before that, I just had one affiliate domain, which I made like $100 a month with, and I bought this probably 5-6 years ago on HostMonster. Let me kick out my cat and dog. Hold on one second. Corgi likes chasing our smaller cat around, and they're best friends. But that always ends up in a lot of noise in my home office here. So yeah, that's the reason for that. If you're going to do something like local SEO, or if you don't even want to blog, it's just really something to play around with, and it's something you'll be able to keep forever. I mean, if I showed you guys the earlier versions of my site, it wasn't that impressive, but as I've been learning and building onto it, and even redid it a few times completely, I've been able to come up with something pretty awesome like this. So let me log into my hostmonster.com account real quick here. And just to be clear, this is not my only hosting account. Let's see, domain. So you might see some domains I own I do nothing with, but yeah. If you're looking for niche ideas, this is probably not the best account to get it from. Okay, why can I not log in? Hold on a second. Let's try that. Okay, there we are. And what I heard was people were having issues installing WordPress. Is anyone still having that type of issue with WordPress and getting it installed, on your actual domain name? If you don't speak up, I'm not going to cover that. Okay, so I'm seeing some yeses and some nos. Okay, cool. So just to be clear, guys, every hosting account is different when it comes to WordPress. HostMonster, HostGator, those are pretty similar. GoDaddy is similar. Bluehost is somewhat similar as well. You want something with a cPanel like this, and this could be for the most part the same kind of idea here. And again, Bill, this is HostMonster right here. So if you have HostGator or a different account, they're going to look different. But all I would do is go to the website builders, click on install WordPress. Now, if you do not have HostMonster and you've got no idea how to get it set up, I promise if you do a search or go to the help desk for the hosting account you have, search for install WordPress or even do a Google search, you will find plenty of tutorials to show you exactly how to do that. But with HostMonster, all you do is you literally just click on WordPress. And then it pops up into the Mojo Marketplace, their WordPress builder, and you click on install and go from there. It's really, really easy to use. I'm not going to go through and do that now because I don't have any domain names I need to install it on. But yeah, you're going to find many, many different hosting accounts or hosting websites have a very similar look. And if you cannot figure it out, do a Google search. Check YouTube. Check with their support. I don't have Bluehost, Armando, so I can't do that for you, unfortunately. Although Armando Susan, who also has Bluehost, says it looks exactly the same. So again, if you don't know how to do it, you know, do a Google search, how to install WordPress on Bluehost. And here it is. So I promise to do a Google search if you have a different hosting account, or if you're still stuck, and you're going to find out pretty easily how you can get that done. And it's something that will become second nature very, very quickly to you. Let me take a sip of my adult beverage. Hold on 1 second, please. Ah, that is tasty. I don't know where you guys are all from. Well, you already told me, but in California, it's actually, we don't really get that much humid weather here. And we had humidity like 75 to 85 the past couple of days, which is ridiculous. It's usually about 5% here. So I'm dying. So I've got the AC on, windows all closed, a whiskey and Coke in my glass next to me, which tastes amazing, by the way. Welcome to my world, yeah. The most humid place I've been in the world, humid, not humid, was probably Southeast Asia, Cambodia, Singapore, Thailand, down by the equator, where it's like 89 degrees year-round in the winter or summer. It was beautiful. I loved it, but it was ridiculous. That would take 5 years to get used to. Jill's got the red wine. Nice. Have I been to Bali? Not yet. I do want to go, though. For Southeast Asia, I've only been to Cambodia, Thailand, and Singapore. And then, yeah, Singapore was amazing, awesome food. Cambodia, I loved it. Thailand was beautiful, as you saw by my little picture here of me testing a hammock out. And yes, that is actually my laptop. I did take that, have my wife take that for me so I can show I'm working from the beach, like the lifestyle claims you can do. And I did actually work from there for about 15 minutes, but it was simply too hard to type on there. But it was fun to try. And so I can say, yes, I have worked from the beach in Thailand. It was amazing. So I'm not lying when I say that. I got picture proof. Jody. That's Jody's vision, but Cook Islands. Well, that sounds nice. So anyways, guys, that is the basis of WordPress. If you're stuck in getting it installed, maybe you have GoDaddy, maybe you have Namecheap, I don't know who you have, but you can either check their support or do a real quick Google search like I showed you, and that's going to be pretty easy to get going. If you want to use a free version, you can use WordPress.com, but I don't recommend that because they do not allow you to add affiliate links for JVZoo, for ClickBank, etc. So anyways, having said that, what I'm going to get into now is themes, WordPress themes. Let me log into my own account real quick here. And the theme I use is a paid theme. It was $50 called Elegant Themes. And unfortunately, don't write that down. They no longer sell it, and I've got no idea why, because it's an amazing theme. If I can remember my password, I'm going to pause my screen for a second. And unpaused. So basically, theme-wise, if you want to search for a free theme, there are plenty of amazing free themes out there. Joe the Goat Farmer. Oh yeah, no, Joe, I know we're going to cover quite a few things, Joe, that are also covered in the main course itself, because some people kind of get stuck on those. And I've met so many people, literally hundreds of people, that watched the training and they thought it was great, but when I actually did something live, they were like, "Oh my gosh, that clicks." When I was in Inbox Live with Anik earlier in 2014, I probably had like 15 people approach me and say they loved the training from Anik and everybody, but it's when I showed them how to do it live is when it really clicked. So Anne asked me to take a look at the forums, and I did find people were still kind of stuck on installing WordPress, getting a theme, etc., which is why I'm going to be doing that. So yeah. Oh, yeah, thank you, Bill. Yeah, we're already getting theme recommendations. Bill uses Genesis by StudioPress. I've never used the Genesis theme. It's a bit more complex, and I would probably not recommend that for newbies because it's a bit more advanced than a regular WordPress theme. But let me go into appearance and themes real quick. And these are some different themes I've had installed before. Excuse me. Of course, you got the free themes that come with WordPress. I've installed some other themes before just to play around with them before I got this one installed finally. You can actually even preview a live theme. You can even preview a theme on your site once it's installed. And I believe Daisy Chain was a free one I was also testing out. So that's not bad. This is not too bad looking. And you can customize the colors on the left side here, background color, etc. And you can see the changes live, which is nice. So this is a simple theme, but it looks like it would certainly work. It's called Daisy Chain. And you can also go through here and you can preview any other theme you've got installed. Now, if you want to find a brand new theme, let me close this real quick. Okay, guys, I'm having a lot of questions for some reason as to how to add affiliate links. I'll get to that probably in about 20 to 30 minutes when I demonstrate post optimization. Is that okay? But it's the easiest thing in the world, I promise. It's really copy, click, paste, hit OK. And I'll show you guys that in about 20 minutes or so. So we're going to go ahead and find a new theme. So I'm going to click on Add New, and you can actually search within the WordPress store for a bunch of free themes. Amos, again, this is not Q&A. We're not going to be covering keyword research here. If you go back through the basic training, that's covered nicely there. If you want more, go back and watch the replay of the first Q&A webinar, maybe the second one. I did about 15-20 minutes on Q&A, 15 to 20 minutes on keyword research, which many people said was pretty much the best ever, which makes me happy to hear. And I'm not making that up either. So yeah, I mean, here's some free themes. There are featured themes right here. And so I mean, really, when I look for a quality theme, if I'm going to do a theme on weight loss, for example, I don't want to find a cheesy looking weight loss theme. I'm not going to go here and search for weight loss. All right, I suppose I could, but most of these themes, okay, that's not going to work. Let's try fitness. Yeah, those are all right. I mean, you got one with the, you know, they're just not that. Let's try this instead. Hold on, I'm stumbling here. 1 second. Weight loss WordPress theme. Let's click on images. You know, most of these just look too kind of cliche, too silly to me, if you ask my opinion. I mean, yes, I suppose they might work, but I would rather take more of a general. I mean, this one here, for example. Yes, I suppose that will work, but I would much rather take a more simple or even a more advanced WordPress theme and customize it myself. So I've got more control over that. So I again, while you certainly can, you know, search for, you know, golf WordPress themes and sports WordPress themes, etc., either in Google or the WordPress store. I myself, and again, other people might recommend other things, but I would much rather myself just use the theme and customize it from the beginning myself. So, I mean, if I preview this one here, firmness, that's nice. That's actually really nice looking. Now, I'm not a big fan of sliders. They're not the most friendly for SEO. They're not horrible, but I don't like those. Many themes will let you remove those as well if you want to remove those. But you can preview different themes. That one's only okay. But simply ask yourself, you know, does this theme look good? Does it look professional? Can I customize it? Now, this one here is nice. This one is actually pretty nice. If you were doing a construction site, you certainly could use this. But chances are you can probably go back and modify the header back there to find a better image. And if not, you could probably find someone on Fiverr.com that can do that for you. Well, thank you, Joe. Actually, what Joe pointed out was if you want to show your client you're a professional, but you don't want to spend a lot, check out Theme Forest. Oh, exactly, Joe. No, Joe knows his stuff. Signers are proven to reduce your opt-ins if they're on the same page. That is true, which is why I don't use one. I'd much rather have a bunch of content on top. Yeah, by all means. But yeah, Theme Forest is an amazing paid one. I think, 1 second. I think Lisa uses BE themes, which is her personal favorite as well. But I mean, again, if you just go through and look at these, simply ask yourself, does this look professional or does it look cheesy? And I mean, this one I don't care for. That's more of a magazine type theme, I suppose. This one's simple, but it's almost too simple. But honestly, I would simply say use your best judgment and ask yourself, does this theme look professional or not? And then let's say you purchased a theme or you had a custom WordPress theme. All you would do is click on Upload Theme, and you can simply drag the zip file right here, or you can browse for it and install it. And it's that easy. See if I have any themes. Themes, no, I do not have any themes on here currently. What's this? Theme compot? No, I do not. So, but it's pretty easy to do. And I'll be honest, guys, if you cannot find an amazing looking free theme, I would recommend investing in either a paid membership or a paid theme, because they're simply going to look a lot more professional, and you're going to wow a lot more people a lot quicker. So Theme Forest here, I've never used theirs, but you can click on WordPress right here, and you can view their popular themes. You can view themes by different categories, etc. Here's the B theme. This is what Lisa likes, the B theme, B-E theme on Theme Forest. If you guys like, I will drop you guys a clickable link you can check out. Hold on one second, please. And who is calling me? I don't know, but I'm not going to answer it. Of course, why would I? Let's see here. Where's my chat box? 1 second here. Let's see, Theme Forest. Okay, guys, if you take a look at the chat box, I did give you guys a link. It looks like you have to copy and paste it, but it's the Theme Forest to the BE theme. This is what Lisa recommends, and I've never used it, but I've looked at it, and I might have to buy it. It's got over 100 pre-made templates. You can use this for blogs. You can use this. You can use our website builder. You can do pretty much anything you want with this. Let's see, builder. Jeez, that's impressive. You've got all these pre-done themes on here. So if you have a lawyer you're working for example, this same thing, that's actually pretty damn impressive. Now, let me ask you guys, would this convert? Would someone pay you to build this for them? Yes, they would. I've done it before, just not with this theme. But there's a ton of different themes on here, different templates it comes with. And I think I might actually buy it myself. Julian's asking if when you buy a theme on Theme Forest, can you use it on many different sites? I don't know. You would have to check with them. I don't see why not if you buy one. Let's find out. Let's click on Buy Now. Let's click on License Details. Yeah, they've got different licenses. Thank you, Joe. Joe, seems like you know your stuff. Are you one of our coaches in disguise, or are you just here to learn more? Joe the goat farmer. So I'm genuinely curious now about Joe the goat farmer. Anyways, though, yeah, it looks like they do have different themes. The regular one is the default. Let's see here, full license. Well, yeah, let me ask you then, Joe. Since I've never used Theme Forest myself, are you able to do multiple installs? I know this says single end product. Does that mean only one install? Or if anyone else happens to know? One license. Okay, one install. Thank you. So yeah, it looks like it would be one license by default. If you buy the extended license, I'm hoping you can install more than that. But anyways, we're not going to go into that. We're not going to spend too much time worrying about that. So hold on 1 second, please. All right, so yeah, I mean, I can go into WordPress themes all day long, but essentially what I would simply recommend you do is find a theme that you like, ask yourself if it looks professional, ask yourself if you would trust that site by looking at it. I mean, these here look amazing. Of course, I'm a big fan of beer, but this is a great looking site. And this is that same exact theme it looks like by B or BE. And I know that they get more into the local stuff in the local forum. I'm sorry, the local particular phase of the product. Leasing sites and then local SEO both get into that stuff more for building out particular client type of websites. All right. All right, hold on one second. Check something real quick here. All right, Joe, are you one of our coaches in Undercover or what? Because Joe's giving me advice now. All right, you're just knowledgeable. Well, thanks, man. I appreciate it. All right. Anyways, actually, I have not gone through the entire set of modules yet. But actually what Joe was nice enough to tell me, Joe the goat farmer, was that in the website, Anne's got a training module called WordPress Themes and Customizations. And I appreciate that, Joe. Thank you. Take a look real quick here. No problem. Give me a second, please. All right, so anyways, let me go ahead and get back on topic here. What I'm going to show you guys now is, let's see here. Are you guys good with themes, by the way? I mean, really, in my personal opinion, it's just common sense. I mean, if you find a theme that looks nice. Joe, is your last name Marfolio by chance? Crickets, huh? All right. So are you guys good with themes? I mean, in my opinion, it's just simply common sense. I mean, WordPress does come with some basic themes that simply look okay. And while, yes, you can use those and customize them, you'll see I play with a lot of themes on here because I want to find something that looks good. I mean, for example, for 2015, you've got a very, very basic theme. I've seen some people customize this and make it look quite amazing. But you know, it's an okay looking theme. It's not that amazing. So simply spend some time to find a good theme, and I think you'll find it does wonders. 1 second here. Let me check something real quick here. Oh wow, okay. So you, Joe, yeah, I'm getting a bunch of people telling me who you are, Joe. Maybe I should have Joe teach this one for me. I feel like I'm in the presence of greatness without knowing it. So anyways, guys, simply put, the best theme you're going to find to work with is going to be the theme that you like yourself. If you find it fits what you're looking to accomplish, then go ahead and use that one. I do recommend, of course, getting a paid theme, yes, if you can afford it, because you're going to get usually a lot more customization options. You're going to be able to get a more professional look, which is, again, why I paid for this theme, like $60 or so a year or two ago. It's simple, but it works nicely. I've got an amazing bounce rate, which means people stay on my site for longer and don't leave. Excuse me, which is good. So anyways, having said that, folks, what I'm going to show you guys, I've had a lot of people asking us how to do things like, do the basic optimizations of a WordPress post, how to optimize images, which is very, very important as well. So let me go ahead and cover that here. I'm going to go ahead and click on post. I'm going to add a new post real quick. And let me take a quick sip of my drink here. Excuse me. Okay, yeah. All right. Sorry, I was reading a few of the questions and comments here. Anyways, folks, what I'm going to do is show you guys the basics here. I've had a lot of people ask how you add a link, how you add an affiliate link. So let's say, for example, I'm going to be promoting a product on ClickBank. This is one of the simplest things to do. Obviously, I'm going to go to the marketplace to find what I'm going to be promoting here. And now this is clickbank.com. For those that do not know, ClickBank is one of the largest, though slowly falling, it's one of the largest affiliate marketplaces online. You can find a ton of different products to promote from there. For example, you can find Google Sniper 3 as an example, and you would need to sign up for a free account. It's not going to cost you a dime. I'm not going to go through and cover the ClickBank stuff now. Well, let me ask you guys, do you know how to find products on ClickBank to promote? Do you guys know how to find products in your niche to promote? You know what? I'm seeing a lot more no's than yeses. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys. So there are multiple different websites you can use to do this on. My favorite 2 or 3, I'll show you here. Number 1 is clickbank.com, which is where I'm at right now. It's going to be 100% free to create an account. It's not going to cost you a dime. And once you do that, let's say you're going to be promoting a product in weight loss, for an example here, what you would simply do is you can browse the categories. In fact, what I would suggest you do now is to get a feel of it, go through the different categories to see what's available. Because you'll be surprised. There's chicken sheds in here. There's goat farming guides. There's things on how to quit smoking and how to lose weight and how to win the lottery, which is a scam, by the way. So there's a ton of different things in here you can promote related to your niche and different niches. It's also great for niche research as well. But for this example, I'm going to go ahead and click on health and fitness. And you know, Joe, I think I know who, I'm going to have to ask Mike Long about you. I think I know who you are now. Anyways, let's see here. So I'm going to go ahead and look. Pardon my sound effects. Let's just click on health and fitness in general here. By default, when you're going to be sorting the products, they're going to be sorted by popularity. There's a few things you want to look at. Let me bust out my calculator here. Hold on a second, please. Okay, so number 1, you've got the product information right here. There's an affiliate page as well. OMG is learning from me. Mike Long and OMG guys are amazing. I don't think they could learn anything from me, but I'd be flattered if they did. Anyway, so there's a few things you can look at here. Number 1, when I'm looking for a product, I look at how much I can make per sale on average. So, for example, the Venus Factor, on average, I'm going to make about $57 per sale for my commissions, which if you ask me is pretty freaking fantastic. The initial sale amount, the commission will be about $40 or so. The average rebill total, how much I'll make for the rebills, meaning monthly upsells, etc., is about $98 on average. Oh, I know, Joe. I'm just going over the basics first. Thanks, man. Yeah, CB engine. We'll cover that next if I have time. So I'll look at the average rebill. That's how much you might get monthly. So again, on average, again, you're going to make about $57, which is why that's higher than the product might actually cost itself. Next up, you've got the gravity. For people give different statistics for this here, but the general understanding is gravity is not how many sales are being made, but it's how many affiliates make at least one sale of that product. Now, I've heard it's either 30 or 60 days, but essentially, you've got at least 258 affiliates selling at least one copy each per 1 or 2 months. So gravity, a lot of people say you look for the high gravity products. That's good for some of the bigger niches, but it's not always the best practice because you might have one product with a gravity of 10. Which does not sound impressive initially, but again, you might have 3 affiliates making 55 sales a month each. So, I mean, high gravity, this is high gravity, 258, 204 for an example. But if you look at some of the smaller niches, you're going to find gravity might be a bit lower. So gravity is a good indication if it's making sales, but it's not the end-all or be-all. So what I would usually do is take a look at the sales page itself. plug in my headphones so the audio doesn't, there we are. And simply put, I'll look at this and I will, give me 1 second here. I'll basically review the product itself to find out if it's worth my promoting or not. Now, the Venus Factor is a huge product. It's got high gravity, but still you can look at it and you can see that it's a pretty damn impressive looking website. So it's probably going to convert nicely. Let's find something a bit less impressive here. Let's go to page number 6 just randomly here. We'll look at something like this, the Greek God Muscle Building Program. It's got a gravity of 35, which is certainly not too bad. It's making sales. But what I would do is I would look at the product page itself again and ask myself, does this look good? Would I buy this product? And this is certainly not bad. They don't have a video or a VSL that I can see, or a video sales letter. But it's not bad looking, and it is making some sales as well. And actually, Joe, what I'm doing now is just kind of covering the basics of ClickBank here. We're not really covering launch jacking, just kind of the basics of ClickBank, since this is the beginner's bootcamp here. Excuse me. Joe the goat farmer. All right. We got ourselves a ringer in the audience. So essentially, I would simply study the sales page. This actually it's not a VSL. But it does look pretty damn impressive. So I would probably promote this. You can look for an affiliate page to see if you like what they're offering. Most affiliate pages will give you maybe swipe copy, email copy you can use to promote it. They might give you some keyword research, images, banners, etc. But essentially, the more they give you, the easier it is to make sales. And this looks like it was actually built with optimized press. But yeah, so they want you to register sometimes, not always required to get that data, but that's a pretty good start. So anyways, once you have a ClickBank account, let's say, for example, that I wanted to promote the Greek God Muscle Building Program, all I would do is simply click on Promote right there. And I would add my affiliate nickname, so in this case, Jay Lenny. Now, if you want to use a tracking ID, let's say I'm promoting this product from YouTube, from Facebook, from Twitter, from LinkedIn, from joethegoatfarmer.com. I want to see where my sales are coming from. If I start getting a flood of sales coming in, I'd like to know exactly where those are from. Are they from YouTube, from Facebook, from SEO, from jefflenny.com, for example? So I could add, if I'm doing a review on my site, for example, I might simply put jl.com. So when I make a sale now, I'm going to know that it came from jefflenny.com. Or if you want to be more specific, you can maybe say jl.com post 1. And so what happens is, again, when you make that sale, and my pleasure, Jody, my pleasure. I'm glad this is helping out. It's going to show that jl.com post 1 next to my sale. So I'll know, okay, that sale came from that location. So I'm going to click on Create. And this is kind of ugly, right? But this is my basic affiliate link here. Let me move that out of the way here. Show you here. That's what that looks like. And so if I was going to be promoting that product, what's that called again? Greek God Muscle Building Program. Hold on a second. All I would simply do, this is the million-dollar question people have been asking me, to add my hop link. Now we got David the chicken feeder. Nice. To add my affiliate link to this particular word, I'm going to highlight it, and I'm going to click on this little insert link icon right here. And I'm going to simply add my link. I'm going to click on Open Link in a new tab or a window to lower my bounce rate and click on Add Link. Now the problem with that is, if you look at a website, when people hover their mouse over that link, if you can look in the bottom left, down there, it shows you that. It goes to gibberish.hop.clickbank.net, blah, 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 tracking ID, etc. That doesn't look that pretty, right? So what I'm going to do and write this down is I use a program called Pretty Link. And what Pretty Link will let me do is make a link that looks like it's part of my website but redirects. So I'm going to add the link I want to redirect to. I'm going to choose 301 to make it a permanent redirect. And in this case, what's it called? Greek God. So I'll just type Greek God and click on create. And if you give me a moment here. So now, if I want to promote that particular product now, let me ask you guys, which one of those looks better? Which would you more likely click on if you saw that in the browser? 1 or 2? 2, exactly, absolutely. And if I go to this now, if I go to that link, jefflenny.com/GreekGod, it's like I'm describing myself. Isn't that amazing? You can find the redirects to that product, KeynoteBodyElite.com. And if I were to buy this product, click add to cart. In the very bottom here, let me bust out my handy dandy highlighter here. You'll see it shows affiliate ID. Let me clear that. It says affiliate ID equals jlenny dot, my tracking ID, jl.com post 1. So again, if I were to make a sale now, we've tested the redirect. It works fine. You guys see what that does? Essentially, when many people are going to click on a link, they're curious where it goes to first. And close this here. And simply put, that just makes it look a lot prettier, hence it being called Pretty Link. So again, you are simply inserting the link, Jared, but you're just making it look nicer with Pretty Link. I mean, I can put this right here, that's fine, but again, when people hover their mouse over that link, if they happen to look at the bottom left down there to see where it's going to be going to, it still has this ugly link showing up. So I'm essentially going to disguise that or hide it and make it look pretty. And again, that's called Pretty Link. There's a free version which I use. It's not going to cost you a dime. You can install that via your WordPress plugins. Excuse me. And actually, yeah, Joe mentioned it does slow things down. In fact, I noticed as I was clicking it, it did slow things down nicely. So Joe is actually recommending, okay, he uses it, but quick redirect or link to. Thank you, Joe. So just for reference on what Joe said also works. So if you want to take a quick screenshot or write that down, for example, I'm using Pretty Link. And we did have recommendations for a slightly faster option for a quick redirect or link to. And guys, I do have to apologize for my loud typing. I've got one of those mechanical keyboards, and I type like 110 words a minute. So I'm not mad or pissed off at my keyboard. I'm just a fast and loud typer. So it's an amazing keyboard, and I love it. But yeah, it looks like quick redirect and also link to will both also be plugins. To install that, you would simply go to plugins. We'll get to that next, Jody. You'll go to plugins, you would click on add new, and you can search right here for the plugin, Pretty Link as an example. On the right side there. And you would simply click on the install now button next to it. And it's not going to cost you a dime. Once you install that, you would simply have to click on activate from the plugins page right here. Ah, man, wetting the old whistle. Good stuff. So that's how that works. So let's say, just as an example, just to show you guys how I roll, how this works here. Let's go ahead and optimize a real quick post for that product name, Greek God Muscle Building Program, just for kicks and giggles here. So let's have some fun with this. Just hold on a second here. There we are. All right, so we're going to get rid of that right there. We're going to keep this here for reference for later for myself. All right, so let me, just so I know how you guys are rolling, how you guys are doing here. How many of you guys are pretty good with WordPress and know how to make a basic optimized post? And again, this is stuff that we cover in the main training, but I know some people like seeing it live as well. So, okay, I'm seeing about half and half or so. WordPress is easy, guys. It really is, which is why I use it for 99.99% of my sites. Um, Essentially, with WordPress, you want to optimize, as you'll probably learn, for a few main things. So let's say that I want to rank for Greek God Muscle Building Program Review, which is a mouthful. Essentially, want to add that particular phrase in a few places. Number one is going to be your post title right there. Number two is your permalinks. Now, this is where many people get confused. When you first install WordPress, and I'll show you what this does in a second here, your default link structure looks like this. So if I make a new post, it's going to simply name it, jefflenny.com / question mark P equals 123. It's going to be a post number. It's not going to look nice. So what you want to do is go through and change it to the post name option right here. And what that's going to do now is when I go through and add this new post title, by default, it's going to make my title my URL. So now it's not like page 123, for example, but it's something awesome that actually matches what I'm trying to do. The next thing I recommend is always add in your H1 tag with your keyword. But the nice thing about WordPress is most WordPress themes automatically add the H1 tag for you. But all that is this right here. It's just a big header tag. You only want one of those per page, period, end of story. Now, you can have multiple H2s, H3s, H4s, etc. You want to have only one H1 tag, and WordPress does usually take care of that for you. So you generally don't have to worry about doing that. The next thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you include your main keyword in your first sentence of the content. And you're going to find some people give different variations of how this works. This is what I do, and it works fine for me. Dory might say to, maybe add it in the first paragraph. Joe might say, just have it in the first 100 words. I mean, people say different things. For me, that works. So what I would start off with, for example, and again, this is not really a launch jacking demonstration per se, because this is my blog has nothing to do with Greek gods or muscle building. It's just kind of a basic post optimization tutorial. Hope that's okay. So I would maybe start off things with, hey, thanks for and sorry for the loud typing again. So I would simply include the main keyword, which is a mouthful, in my first sentence. I've got that right here. Back in the day, people used to recommend making your keyword bold or underlined or italics. Not necessary anymore. That works nicely for 2007. Really not so much anymore. It's not going to penalize you, but it's not going to do a whole lot of good for you. So if you want that, you can do that for looks only. The next thing I do, and of course this is the basic stuff, is I want to add an image to my website. And Anne mentions to me that a lot of people are kind of stuck on image optimization. So I'm going to show you guys a few real cool tricks here. So search for the product name itself. So I'm going to search for Greek God Muscle Building Program and click on images. Now, generally speaking, it is not a good idea to Google something and simply grab an image. That can get you legally in trouble. But if you're using something from that product sales page, for example, it's generally going to be okay and not a problem. So I would try to find something that's from that product page or something that's related, of course. Let's see if this is from there. Or I could also just do something like this. Greek God, but those might be copyrighted images. Yeah, I know, Joe. That's the problem. Joe's talking about Yoast SEO, which is an amazing plugin. I use Yoast on all of my other sites. What he's talking about, guys, Yoast is an SEO plugin that gives you an on-page analysis. It shows you, your link, your keyword density, how much content you should be adding, if you have a link to an external blog post or not, etc. But I've had this blog for a while here, and I'm too lazy to go through and optimize it. But if you guys want to download there's I'm going to kind of jump back and forth here. It's called Yoast, and what Yoast will essentially do. You know what? Let me show you. Hold on. This is a site I kind of built as a demo, womanlywoes.com. I've actually got Yoast on here, if you guys don't mind me jumping around a little bit. Now, Yoast is actually amazing for beginners. Number one, is free. And number two, is going to show you guys exactly what's missing. So I'm going to click on Posts and All Posts. Now, I've already got Yoast installed on this particular blog. So I'm going to go ahead and go into one of my posts here called What Causes Yeast Infections. Fortunately, I've got an amazing writer that wrote this content for me, so I didn't have to research this stuff too much, but it's good content. So Yoast, if you look on the right side here, let me bust out my spotlight right here. It shows SEO is good, right? That's because I've got the Yoast plugin installed. If you click on check, it's going to scroll down here. Oh yeah, Jody, I've got an essential oils review also on this particular page, I believe. But you can scroll down to the bottom here where it says WordPress SEO by Yoast and look at the page analysis. And it's going to, if you're missing stuff, for example, it's going to tell you what you're missing, what you have too much of, what you need to add, etc. The only thing I ignore is the keyword density. And again, people might tell you otherwise. I mean, really, back in 2007 when I first started, you wanted a keyword density of 3 to 5%, which Google loved, but it made for really, really spammy, really crappy quality content. So now I just, honestly, myself, I try to include my main keyword once or twice within the content, and that's about it. But what Yoast will do is if you're missing something, it will tell you. You can basically, you add the keyword that you want to optimize for, right here under General. Let me show you this again. See this? It says Focus Keyword. So the keyword I'm optimizing for here is going to be what causes yeast infections. And it shows you the most basic stuff right here. Is your keyword included in the article heading? Yes, it is. The page title, the URL, the content, the description, etc. I've got it in my SEO title right here. And my description here, albeit it's a bit simple, it's still there and it still works. And then again, it'll tell you to link, link externally to other websites, etc. I think in this case, I linked out to probably Wikipedia. And the reason you do that is when you're building out a website, what does Google want to see? Number one, they want to see their users have a high quality experience. They want to see their users happy. So if you go to a website and it's filled with spam and pop-up and unrelated crap, you're probably going to leave. But if I care about my readers, number one, if I give them quality content, even if I'm linking somewhere else, for example, well, that's my last track, I'm sorry. If you're going to be linking elsewhere to Wikipedia, WebMD, for example, it's showing Google that you care more about the end user experience. And it also does sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? It does, I guess, helps to relate your site to Wikipedia or to an authority site. So in this example, people like myself might not know what that particular word is. So I looked it up and I linked it to Wikipedia. For the Candida, I think I linked out from that one as well. That's strange. Let me check that real quick. You hear me okay? Sorry, we lost the audio. I am back. I'm sorry about that. So what I was saying is when I want to find an image, I'm going to find an image I can legally use. Now, this is an image from their website. I would assume they would not mind if I were to use their image to promote their product, which is what I'm doing here. So again, I do not simply recommend grabbing some random image from Google of a bodybuilder or a Greek god or Zeus. It might be copyrighted. But if you're using the image from their product page, I would say it's probably going to be okay to do. So again, I'm going to simply right-click and save the image as the actual product or the keyword name I'm going for. Oops, 1 second here. And I'm going to add the word review to that. Now, if you're going to be making a rather large site, one thing you want to be careful about is your image is getting too large. In this case, this particular image is only 19 kilobytes, which is actually not too bad. If you get over 50 kilobytes, I would recommend trying to compress the image. I use a free website called compressnow.org. Actually, maybe it's .com. Hold on a second. Let me check my other browser. My bad. It's compressnow.com. And what you can essentially do, and please write that down, compress now. Essentially, when you have a lot of images on your site that are larger file sizes, you're going to be fine initially, but you're going to find once you add more and more content and more pages, more and more images, your site's going to load slower and slower. And Google does actually quite care about the site speed. So I try to make images small from the beginning. So you can click on Upload an Image. You can browse to it, and you add the file. And you got the slider here. Now what you do not want to do is do not slide it all the way over to the right, because you're going to get this. Now 19 is fine. 19 is fine. It's perfectly fine. But I would try to compress it to make it a little bit smaller. This doesn't look half bad. And then you can simply resave the image to make it a smaller file size. So now my image, because Google cannot read pictures, at least in the way we want them to, my image is now named according to my product name, which is going to help for my SEO. So I'm going to go ahead and add that image. I'm going to click on Add Media right here. And I'm going to drag my image up there. Now what else am I going to do? I'm also going to add my image. Yeah, Drew's asking, does Smush do the same thing? Drew's Smush does do the same thing, but I've seen some people have issues with Smush. It's SMUSH. So I think I did try Smush on another site of mine, and it ended up having the thumbnails not work properly. So I avoid that now. But I mean, Smush does do the same thing essentially. I just recommend doing this yourself manually. It takes you an extra 15 seconds, and you can know you're in charge that way, large and in charge. So next you want to add your keyword to the title here, which is again what Google reads. So it's a Greek god muscle building review. You can also add it to the description. I usually do not add it to the caption there. It shows it below the actual image itself. Now you're good, Joe. You're fine, man. The alt text, you can add it if you like. What the alt text does is if you hover your mouse over the image, it pops up the text. In this case, I didn't add it. If you do want to re-edit the image, though, you can go back and click on the image, and there's a pencil icon that appears right there. Do you see that? So click on the image, click on the pencil icon, and if you do want to add it, you can add it right here to image title attribute, and click on update. And if you hover your mouse over it now, you'll see that pops up. So I don't always use that. As far as I know, Google cares more about the actual the alt text itself. If you wanted to say who these people were, for example, over people hovering the mouse over the image, you can add it there. Now, actually, Jody's asking a great question. If I want to make that image clickable, can I do that? Yes, Jody, that is an amazing question. You most certainly can. You can either add it when you're first adding the image, or if you want to go back and edit it, you can do two things. You can click on the image, the link icon at the top right there, and add your link right there. Or you can click on the edit icon right there, and you see where it says link to right here. You see where it says link to right there. You click on the drop down and select custom URL, and you would add the link you're going to link to right there. Now again, I will always have the link open up in a new window. And the reason for that is if someone clicks on that link, they're still going to be on my site. And when they're done viewing my review or viewing the product, for example, they might go back to my site and stay longer. And even if not, they're still going to be on there longer. So I always do that for any external link. I have them open it up in a new window or tab. And so now if we click on preview, let me respond to a quick message. Hold on a second. Someone can't hear me. All right, Shirley was not able to hear me. And if I hover the mouse over this, number one, if you look at the bottom left, down there, it shows jefflinney.com/greatgod. And number two, if I click it, it's clickable. So that is how you would do that. Does that make sense? Let me close the permalinks here. And of course, for the rest of the stuff, we do cover that in the basic training itself. And that's really the basic stuff there for on-page. Images are important. If you can find an applicable video, I certainly would recommend adding that as well. Both images and videos are going to increase your SEO score. Google's going to love you more, and they're going to keep people active and engaged on your site for longer. So you guys will see any post I do myself, I don't always add videos, but I do add at least one or more images. So for example, 5 things that matter when you're learning internet marketing. And I want you guys to see what I'm doing here. I don't just have a bunch of random text all lumped together. I space it out. I make it look pretty. I make it look nice, and I have a nice flow and make it easy to read. I've got bullet points, links to both internal and external websites, etc. See how that works? So again, you want to make sure you can have the best content in the world, but if it's just copied and pasted into your site with no direction or flow to it, you're really going to give your users, your readers, a bad user experience, and they're not going to read it. They're not going to buy what you're promoting, no matter what it is. No matter how good the content is, if it bores them, they're going to bounce right away. Make sense? And then, of course, I'm not going to publish this live on my site, but if I wanted to, I would simply click on publish. But I'm going to do one more thing here. I'm going to add my keyword to my title down here. And then, of course, this is the Platinum SEO pack. If you're going to be using Yoast SEO, which I showed you guys on my Womanly Woes site, there is a very similar appearance for that down here as well. You don't necessarily have to add it to your description now. Descriptions are not as important as they used to be. Some people say yes, some say no. I still kind of do out of habit. But if it's not there exactly, that's going to be fine. But what I would do is I would make it, something like this, the only, oops, hold on a second. And again, guys, I'm not teaching launch jockeying. This is just kind of a basic post optimization. Make sense? And so those are really the basics of your post. I would recommend adding as well. I used to say 500 words. Really, Google loves high quality content. My friend, I guess I should say my colleague Neil Patel did a study that most articles on page one have 2,000 or 3,000 plus words. So you don't really have to write that much per se, but I would try to get into a habit of doing at least 750, if not 1,000 words per post. And the reason is you want to give your users a quality experience, and again, you also want to give Google high quality content that they're going to love and respect. If people do read what's on your site, if they stay on your site for longer, Google knows this, and they're going to reward you as well. In fact, I believe there was I believe it was on SEM Rush this year. I could be wrong, but it said that people time on the site is one of the most important things for SEO. So you want to make sure you give people not only quality content, but you want to make sure, pardon me, that you make it look nice. So what I will do is I will usually go to iWriter.com. I use it all the time myself. You can get 1,000 words from a 4.5-star writer, which is pretty good for like $12.50. I'm sorry, for like $10, $11. You can simply take the content and paste it in here if you don't want to write yourself. I'm not going to cover iWriter now, it's already over on time, but yeah, just make sure that you're going to be using a good writer though. And then again, if you want to unpublish the post later, you certainly can. If you want to remove it, if you want to delete it, you can as well. Yeah, Kathy, that's iWriter.com. Let me show you guys real quick. I'm going to log in here. Give me one moment, please. So iWriter, I want to show you guys something here. This is my own personal account. Articles completed, 425. I've had 425 articles written by writers on iWriter for myself. So this is not a case where I'm saying do as I say, not as I do. This is a site I use every single week to have content written for me. I do recommend using a 4.5, if not a 5-star writer. I promise, guys, having quality content is going to pay off in the end. And basically, you're going to be getting people generally from countries like India, Pakistan, the Philippines, etc. So again, you're not going to be getting an article written by a Harvard law professor, for example. But for 10 or 12 bucks, you really can't go wrong. I would just recommend you want to pay for more quality. At least use a 4.5-star writer. And by the way, the content is also checked by Copyscape before it's given to you, so they're not going to be able to give you stolen content they copied and pasted. But all you do is you click on Get Content, and you enter one article per line. So it says keywords. I've seen people do things like this and treat it like a meta tag. You don't want to do that. You want to give people your article titles, what they're going to be writing about. 5 tips for quick weight loss, Joe's guide to goat farming, etc. Those are going to be your titles for the actual content itself. If you want them to go easy on the SEO, you can let them know. You don't have to stuff the keyword in there. Just write naturally. You can let them know in the instructions or the article purpose down below. So I'm not going to cover that now. You can go to iWriter.com. It's free to sign up. You do not have to pay a dime unless you're happy with the content. Having said that, the only other thing I can think of right now is internal linking, which I have not covered yet. Let's say that I had talked about, hold on. Let's say that I talked about Brad Pitt on my site somewhere else, on jefflenny.com. I don't look like that. I wish I looked like that. I look like this. What I would do is I would link internally to my Brad Pitt article. You can highlight Brad Pitt, click on Add Link, and I would simply find my Brad Pitt article here on my site, and link to it that way. When it comes to internal linking, guys, I tell people, I mean, I read Matt Cutts, he's Google's former spam team head. He said that, if I can recall correctly, even 1,000 links internally is going to be fine if it's quality content. Now, you don't want to link from every single word, but what I like to tell people is, let's see here. Use Wikipedia as an example. See if I can find Wikipedia. Wikipedia links internally all the time, but when it's relevant. See those? Those are all going to be internal links to other pages on Wikipedia. So if I was talking about Brad Pitt on my article, for example, I would also link to my Brad Pitt article. Now, there are plugins that you can do this with, like smart links, SEO smart links, but I do not recommend using it. I recommend simply doing these naturally. It's going to give you much more control, and you can also vary your anchor text that way. My voice cracked. Hold on one second, please. Oh, did I say Brad Pitt? Yes, I did. Okay. He's his younger Brady brother. Thank you, Paul. So that's kind of essentially how that works, guys. It's really, really, really basic stuff. But the more you do it, the easier it does get. If you guys are asking about this stuff I have up here, the Amaze editor and this bar here, that's from my theme. You're not going to have that on yours, so don't worry about that stuff on there. I never use this. I don't even know what it does. That's just a function of my theme. So good question, Kathy, but that's something you won't have to worry about. I just use WordPress's basic theme anyways, not the Amaze editor. Let me close out of that. There we are. Wow. Oh, thank you, Joel. I appreciate that. Kathy's got a bomb of a question. If you have a site with 300 pages, how do you manage pages and categories? Kathy, that's an amazing question. Let me go ahead and save this as a draft. Sorry, guys, I'm not going to publish it live. It doesn't fit with the theme of my site. But let's say I've got 1,000 posts, for example. I'm going to go to all posts. And let's say that I want to find every post I have on YouTube as an example. I would click on search posts. Now, if I wanted to mass add these posts to a YouTube or a video marketing category, I can simply select all right there, like I just did for each of the pages. Click on bulk actions right there in the top left. Click on edit and apply. Now, what I can do here is if I have a category for YouTube marketing, I can select it right here as an example and click on update and it's done. If I don't, though, I would want to go back to categories and add that category first. So that's one way you can kind of do a bulk update if you want to kind of categorize your site better, Kathy. I mean, it really varies on how your site. I'd have to see how your site is structured, honestly. But essentially, guys, generally speaking, people ask about navigation. Pages are going to be what you have up on the top. For example, my About Me, Contact. This is a page. These here, internet marketing, product reviews, those are different categories I custom added from the WordPress menus. Don't worry about that now. If you're a beginner, we'll cover that later. It's fine. It's nothing important for now. Marketing resources is a page as well. These are things you're going to link to from up on the top. The posts, which are going to be more like your blog posts, Kathy, are going to be these on your main page right here. These are my blog posts right here. I actually have Brian Dean share this post of mine, Why Kanye Will Never Be Good at Email Marketing. He's a pretty big marketer. That kind of made my day. But again, this is a blog post right here. And it shows up on top when I make a new post within WordPress. So my most recent post right here is on the top, which I posted this morning. about 5 things that matter when you're learning internet marketing. Make sense? And if you want to add a new page, you would simply add that from here. Excuse me. Oh, looks like my internet is kind of slowing down. Give me a second here. Yeah, you could add a contact or an about us or a contact me page. Guys, I'll share with you a trick. One thing that Google loves to see on a site to know it's legitimate is they want to see an about us page or an about me page with a picture. I've been told by some people that know some people, believe it or not, that's true, that when Google looks at sites, that's one thing they look for, an about me page. Now, it's generally a best practice to add an about me page, a contact page, I believe a privacy policy page, which I've been bad and have not added yet. So in this case, do as I say, not as I do. But I do have an about me and a contact page, and Google does seem to like my site, and I rank pretty well with it. And by default, Jody, when you make a new blog post, with most themes, the new post is going to go up top right here. So anyways, I hope that helps. So anyways, folks, we're actually about 20 minutes over. If you can't tell, I can really talk all day. But I need to actually take out my dog, and I need to get some dinner, and my wife should be home soon. Jody said more. So do we have any final questions, comments, concerns, kind of about the basic, about the stuff I've covered here? And while you guys are thinking about that, I do want to encourage you guys, don't be afraid. Go to our forum. Go to our Facebook group. Go to our forum for members only. We are on there all the time. You're going to get help from both us awesome coaches, from Dory, from other members as well. So make sure you get into that, guys. It's a lot of fun in there. Let me sign in real quick. Excuse me. If I can remember my password. I'll have to reset that later, but that's fine. But we do have a lot of awesome resources and awesome people in the forum as well. I assure you, I promise you, I can give you my word on it. So make sure you guys go ahead and get checked and get signed up for that. The replays, again, guys, the replays are going to be underneath the Bootcamp area within a day or two. And again, it does take us a day to make to make some minor edits and tweaks to it, etc. Let me show you guys real quick. Hold on. For some reason, Chrome does not like me. I use Firefox usually. I use Chrome for webinars. So it does not save my password for me for Page One Engine. But guys, the Bootcamp Challenge right here, this webinar will be on here in a day or two under the beginner section right here. And of course, the Q&A webinars are located underneath Q&A. The first intermediate webinar is on Thursday. That should be a lot of fun as well. And the recordings for that as well will be under intermediate after that does go live. Anyways, folks, let me go ahead and take a look. So we answered the questions about the replays. Crystal's asking about older blog posts. Oh, that wasn't Crystal. That was Shirley. Shirley, I've found when I do product reviews, for example, Shirley's asking about older blog posts. You can change the date. It's going to help her rank more. If you've just got an older post, Shirley, what I would do is update the post, make sure it's not over-optimized, and if you want to change the date to make it newer, that's fine. I do that every once in a while. And if it's evergreen, you certainly could, drop some tier 2 links to that. Absolutely. In fact, what I would do is make some handmade tier 2 links, from like WordPress.com, from Weebly.com, even from LinkedIn. And what you can do to be a badass is you can build some PBN links, either from Dory's network or your own. You can build the PBN links, the private blog network links, to the tier 2 links. And it's going to build those up, and those can take a lot more quote-unquote spam. So that's kind of more advanced stuff. But yeah, then you can scale that from there. I'm not going to get too much into the spam tools, but then you can use like tools like GSA or Scrapebox and send 25,000 links to your PBN links and kind of scale that from there. It's pretty crazy. what you can do. But we're going to stick with the basic stuff for now. There is going to be more. There's going to be a lot of PBN training, but not yet, guys. We want to make sure you get the basics first. If you have no idea how to do a basic SEO post, if you have no idea how to make a website that looks nice and converts, using PBNs is not going to do you any good. But Wednesday, tomorrow night, Dory is doing the first webinar for the tools. And guys, I will tell you, I've got the tools because I'm a badass. These are pretty freaking cool. I mean, you got the link density tools, keyword. I mean, you got some really, really freaking fantastic stuff that Dory's given you guys, including a network of 500 websites she built herself for you guys to use. So my number one recommendation, use those PBN links for yourself, but only while you're building your own network, which we will get into more later. Okay? Don't just rely on Dory's. You can control your own. You can have less outbound links and have a lot more power and control over your sites. You can rank for anything, and I mean anything, with a quality PBN network. When you have a shared one like Dory's, it's going to work amazingly well, don't get me wrong, but you're going to have higher OBL, meaning higher outbound links, that are going to be sharing the authority, and you're not going to get as much of a boost as you would if it was your own site, and maybe only linked out a couple of times. So having said that, folks, do I have a visual diagram? Not yet, Jody, but let's get into the PBN stuff first. But guys, my number one recommendation, and I mean this sincerely, if you're just jumping on the webinars, hoping to learn how to make money overnight, that's not going to happen. I've seen quite a few people that have not gone through the basic training still. So if you have not done so yet, please make sure you go into the Page One Engine members area, go through the Start Here videos, go through the setting it all up, and go through the Get to Page One, and don't be afraid to watch those more than once, okay? This is not a race. If you're not, ready for Module 4 by the time it launches, or Module 5, who cares? Take your time. You guys are members for life. You can take a year to go through this stuff if you want to, okay? Do the training, guys. Go through the training, master it. It took me, before I started to get a mentor, about 2.5 years of learning SEO on my own. And I did pretty good at it, but I messed up so many times, guys. I bought a website that looks like this. Hold on a second. I bought a website. I actually bought that domain name because I thought it would rank. My site looked like crap. My domain name was a joke, but that's because I didn't know what I was doing. But look at that, guys. That's just ridiculous, and I still see people do things like that. Something else. People that want to save money will do things like this. They'll build a free subdomain on their main domain and do something, and that's a bit of a far example, but I've seen that before. So don't do that, guys. Build out a unique website for every niche you're going to get into. That's why I don't talk about, weight loss on jefflenny.com. That's why I don't, have something about making money online on that Womanly Woes website, which I still need to rank and build out more. So make sure, that's why I don't have things like, weightloss.jefflenny.com. So make sure you take the time to learn how to get a quality domain name. Learn, what looks good and what doesn't. Something that I like to do is I call it the radio test. If you have a domain name idea, say it out loud first. For more information, visit mindexcuse.com. Or for more information, visit how-to-quit-procrastinating.com. It just sounds ridiculous. So, make sure you invest the time to do your research, invest the time to get invest the time and the money to get a quality domain name before you jump into any of the tools. And I'm almost tempted to say, do not even go on tomorrow's webinar if you haven't done that yet. But you guys paid for it. You're more than welcome, and I would love to see you on there, but I want to make sure that you guys have the understanding of this basic stuff first, okay? Once I finally started learning from people that knew what they were doing, I was doing okay by then. I really was, but I still learned a hell of a lot more and a lot quicker once I had that mentorship, which was back in maybe 2009 or 2010 now. So guys, this is your mentorship. We've got active Facebook groups. We've got an active a page on Facebook. I'm sorry, on our forum as well. We've got these webinars. We've got support desks. Yeah, so go through and watch every single module first. That's my number one recommendation, guys. And I don't mean that to discourage you guys. I know many of you guys, you paid the $2,000 to be here, which is a lot, I know. But treat this like an education. I've got a friend that's a lawyer in Beverly Hills, one of the smartest guys I know. He really is there. He makes a really good six-figure income per year. I usually make that same six-figure income that he makes per month. And I didn't pay 5 or 6 figures for law school. I didn't go to Berkeley for 4 years and 3 more years after that. So guys, I want you to keep that in mind. Don't treat this like something you're just going to master overnight. You're not going to. Some of you might, but most of you are not going to. I did not learn this overnight. I messed up so many times. I'm not saying that to be nice. I really did have that domain name like 6 or 7 or 8 years ago. And I thought I was brilliant for doing it. Oh, exactly. Drew nailed it. Baby steps, guys. Take baby steps. So, I mean, I make more than, pretty much all of my actual good friends. And I'm not saying that to brag. I'm saying that so you guys can know to get to where I am now, it wasn't an overnight success. If I had, yeah, if I, yeah, that's funny, Joe. Actually, you're true. I wish I kept that. If you, yeah, I just want you guys to understand that patience is a virtue. Stick with it. Do not give up. Do not quit. I promise, guys, we are here to take care of you and help you succeed. But you need to take the time to help yourself succeed as well. We can only take you guys so far, okay? So having said that, folks, you guys have been wonderful. Thank you for the questions. Joe, you scared me at first because I had no idea who you were, but now I think I have a good idea. Thanks for your comical feedback as well. So guys, having said that, we will see you on Dory's webinar tomorrow night. Okay? Make sure you guys are here for that. It should be a lot of fun. I'm not going to be talking. I'll be sitting back quietly drinking and listening. Drinking water, that is. But guys, you guys have been great. Thank you guys so much again. And I'm going to say this 1,000 more times probably because I mean it. Go through the basic stuff. Join the forum. Join the Facebook group, okay? You're going to get so much help in there, and I promise you guys, no such thing as a stupid question. I'll make a confession here. Someone today on the forum asked how you do a link. How you do a link to an affiliate site. And I was like, wow, that's kind of basic. You should, I was thinking that. You should probably go through the training. But you know what? I had 3 people ask that tonight. Okay? So no matter how silly you think your question might be, I guarantee there's other people that have that exact same question. No matter how silly or stupid you think it might be, it's not. We all learned at one point. Having said that, I'm going to shut up. You guys have been amazing. Look for the replay in a day or so. And I will talk to you guys very soon. Have a great night or morning for you Aussies. Take care.